Have you ever noticed how English feels fine in your head, but the second you need to speak, your body reacts first? Your chest tightens a little, your mind speeds up, you start searching for the perfect sentence, like your life depends on it. And suddenly, English does not feel like a language anymore. It feels like a test. It feels like pressure. It feels like everybody can hear your thoughts while you try to build a sentence one word at a time. And what makes it worse is that you might be doing everything right. You understand meetings, you watch videos, you can read emails, you can even write pretty well. But speaking is different. Speaking is live. Speaking is now. And if you have ever walked away from a conversation thinking, why did I sound like that? Why did my brain go blank? Why did I forget the simplest word? I just want you to hear this clearly. There is nothing wrong with you. You are not broken. You are not bad at English. Your nervous system just learned to treat English like danger instead of something calm. So today, I want to bring English back to a calmer place. Not perfect, not impressive, just calm. The kind of English that feels like you can breathe while you speak. The kind where you do not have to monitor yourself every second. The kind where you can make a small mistake and still feel like you are okay. Still feel like yourself. Because for so many adults, the real problem is not vocabulary. It is not grammar. It is the feeling underneath. It is the tension. It is the fear of being judged. It is the pressure to sound smart. It is the pressure to sound like you belong. And when you carry that pressure, your brain does exactly what brains do under stress. It tries to protect you. It goes into overthinking mode. It starts translating, it starts checking, it starts editing. And then, of course, you get slower. You hesitate, you lose the word you actually know, you feel blocked, and then you blame your English, even though the real issue is that you are trying to speak while your mind is yelling at you to be careful. I have seen this so many times. Someone tells me, Emma, I know English, but when I speak, I panic, or I freeze, or I become someone else, and then I always think yes, because you are trying to speak and protect yourself at the same time. And it is like driving with one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. You can do it, but it feels horrible. It feels tense. It feels exhausting. So let us start by making one agreement together. You do not need to earn calm. You do not need perfect English to deserve comfort. Calm comes first. Calm is the foundation. And when you start from calm, your words come easier, not because you suddenly became fluent overnight, but because you stopped fighting yourself while you speak. Think about the moments when English feels hardest. It is usually not when you are alone. It is when there is something at stake. A work call where you want to sound professional. A quick conversation with a neighbor where you want to sound friendly. Ordering food when there is a line behind you and you can feel people waiting. A meeting where you have an idea and you are just trying to jump in at the right moment, but the moment passes while you are building the sentence. These are normal moments, but they create pressure, and pressure makes you rush. Or it makes you go silent. Or it makes you try to speak in a way that does not sound like you. And the saddest part is that a lot of adults believe They have to speak perfectly to be respected. They believe mistakes equal embarrassment. They believe pausing equals weakness. They believe an accent equals not being smart. But in real life, native speakers pause all the time. We start sentences and change them in the middle. We forget words. We repeat ourselves. We say, wait, what is the word? We say, let me think. We are not robots. We are humans trying to communicate. The difference is native speakers usually do not punish themselves for it. They just keep going. And if you enjoy this calm, supportive kind of English practice, you can subscribe to the channel. No pressure at all, but if you want more episodes that help English feel steady and human again, I would love to have you here. Now, let us talk about what calm English actually looks like. Calm English is not fancy. Calm English is clear. It is simple sentences that you can say without fear, is letting yourself be a little imperfect while still being understood. It is choosing connection over performance. And a lot of people get stuck because they are trying to speak English like they write English, and writing gives you time to think. You can rewrite. You can choose a better word. You can check your grammar. Speaking does not work like that. Speaking is messy. Speaking is quick decisions. Speaking is making the best sentence you can in the moment and trusting it. When you try to speak like you write, you will always feel behind. You will always feel like you are chasing the perfect version of the sentence while the conversation keeps moving. So here is a gentle shift that helps many learners. Stop trying to build the perfect sentence. Start trying to send the message, just the message. Ask yourself, what am I really trying to say? Not how do I say it perfectly, but what is the meaning? And then say it in the easiest way you can. Even if it sounds too simple, simple is not childish. Simple is powerful. Simple is fluent. Let me give you a real-life example. Imagine you are in a work meeting and someone asks for your opinion. Your brain might go, okay, I want to say something like, I believe this approach might be more effective in the long run due to the way it supports scalability and reduces risk. And then you freeze because that is a lot to say under pressure. Calm English would be, I think this way is better long term. It helps us grow and it feels less risky. That is it. That is strong. That is clear, and you can breathe while you say it. Or imagine you are traveling and you need help. Your brain might search for perfect, polite phrases and the exact grammar. Calm English is, hi, sorry, I am a little lost. Can you help me? That is human. That is enough. When English feels calm, you stop proving yourself, you start communicating. Now, let us talk about translating in your head because I know so many of you do this. You have a sentence in your first language, and you try to convert it piece by piece, and it feels like your mouth is waiting for your brain to finish its homework. The problem is not that translating is bad, it is that translating is slow. And when you are slow, you feel pressure, and when you feel pressure, you make more mistakes. And then your brain says, see, you cannot do it, and then you translate even more. It becomes a loop. The way out is not to force yourself to stop translating. The way out is to give your brain short, ready English phrases that it can grab without effort. And you already have some of these, things like, I think, I feel like, to be honest, I am not sure, it depends. Can you say that again? Give me a second. Let me think. These phrases are like little bridges. They give you time. They keep you in the conversation. And they sound natural because native speakers use them constantly. And I want you to notice something. When you use a phrase like, give me a second, you are not failing. You are managing the moment. You are staying connected. You are giving yourself space to speak. Calm English includes space. Calm English includes pauses. Calm English includes the right to think. Perfectionism is another big one. Perfectionism sounds like if I cannot say it well, I will not say it. Or if I make a mistake, they will remember it forever. Or I should already be better than this. And that kind of thinking is heavy. It makes your mouth feel tight. It makes your voice smaller. It makes you hold back. But let me tell you what I have seen in real conversations. People do not remember your tiny grammar mistakes. They remember your energy. They remember if you were kind. They remember if you were clear. They remember if you listened. They remember if you showed up. And yes, sometimes you will say something wrong. Sometimes you will use the wrong word. Sometimes you will mess up the verb tense. Sometimes you will say something that sounds a little funny. It happens. It happens to everyone learning any skill in public. The question is, what do you do in that moment? Do you collapse inside and disappear? Or do you simply adjust and continue? One of the most confident things you can do in English is to calmly correct yourself and keep going. Like, sorry, I mean yesterday, not tomorrow. Or, what I am trying to say is, this part is confusing for me. Or, let me say that again, that is not weakness. That is clarity. That is communication. I also want to talk about the fear of being judged, because it is real, especially at work or around people you respect or in a situation where you want to belong. And a lot of adults carry old memories. Maybe someone laughed. Maybe someone corrected you in a sharp way. Maybe you felt small. Maybe you felt rushed. And your brain saved that moment as evidence that speaking is risky. So now, even when nobody is actually judging you, your body remembers. If that is you, I want you to practice something very simple. Before you speak, soften your pace just a little. Let your sentences be slower than your thoughts. You do not have to match the speed of fast speakers. You can be calm. And you can even start with a small signal that you are thinking. Like, yeah, good question. Or, okay, so here is what I think. Those small signals calm the room, and they calm you. And here is another gentle truth. You do not have to win every moment in English. Sometimes you will be tired. Sometimes your brain will be full. Sometimes you will not have the words. That does not mean you are going backwards. That means you are human. Speaking is affected by your mood, your sleep, your stress, your confidence, your environment, the topic, the people. So when you have a hard day, do not turn it into a story about your English. Just call it what it is. Today was a hard speaking day. Tomorrow might be easier. Now, let us bring this into daily life, because that is where calm really grows. Calm does not grow from intense pressure moments. Calm grows from small, safe repetition. Like talking to yourself while you cook, like describing what you are doing, like telling a simple story out loud when you are alone, like practicing the same few phrases until they feel like yours, like having one low pressure conversation where you let yourself be normal, not impressive. One thing I often suggest is this: pick one everyday situation that happens a lot and decide your calm English for it. For example, at a coffee shop, you do not need 10 ways to order. You need one way that feels easy, and then you repeat it, not like a robot, like a person who has a comfortable routine. And when it becomes routine, your body relaxes. When your body relaxes, your voice comes out more naturally. When your voice comes out naturally, you feel more confident. And then your English grows from there. And if you are thinking, but Emma, I want to sound advanced, I get it. But advanced is not the same as calm. And calm is what gives you access to your real ability. You already know more than you can currently show when you are stressed. So the goal is not to add more and more information. The goal is to let your current English come out without a fight. Here is a reflection I want you to carry with you. Fluency is not a performance. It is a relationship. It is your relationship with your own voice in English. And relationships do not grow through punishment. They grow through trust. They grow through consistency. They grow when you feel safe enough to be imperfect. So next time you're about to speak and you feel that familiar rush, that tightness, that pressure, just pause for half a second and remind yourself, I do not need to be perfect. I just need to be clear. I can go slowly. I can use simple words. I can fix it if I need to. I can breathe. And if your mind goes blank, you can still stay present. You can say, I lost the word for a second, or let me think. Or, can you give me a moment? People are usually kinder than your fear tells you they will be. And the more you practice staying calm in those moments, the less power they have over you. I want English to feel like something you can live inside, not something you have to pass. I want it to feel like a warm room, not a spotlight. And that starts with permission. Permission to speak like a real person. Permission to pause. Permission to be simple. Permission to try again. Permission to sound like you. So as you go into your next conversation, whether it is a meeting, a phone call, a quick chat at the store, or even just talking to yourself in the kitchen, choose calm over perfect. Choose message over masterpiece. Choose connection over control. And notice what happens when you stop squeezing your English and you start letting it breathe. You are closer than you think. And you do not need to push so hard. You just need to feel safe enough to speak.